So has the world used this method to inform policy so far? Or is this just an academic exercise? And the answer is the world has used. And I would immediately point out to Australia that has been very successful in using experimental methods to inform its policy choices. In fact, the development of its wholesale power market has been complemented by research of Vernon Smith and his team, and the choices have been made accordingly. In fact, the success of the power sector development in Australia was so welcome that now Australia uses experiments both at the federal level and the state level, especially in the state of Victoria, very extensively. The experiments have been done to create conservation of endangered species programs, to allocate the slot machines in the state of Virginia, which ended up creating revenue for the state, increased the satisfaction of the market participants because the market clearing was accepted and they would not need to contest the results in the courts, which stalls the process. Everyone is happier. If we look at other regions of the world, European Commission, which is an executive body for European Union to create policies that affect all members, has the Joint Research Center that conducts independent research to get evidence, data, insights through the laboratory experiments, field experiments, whether some of the ideas at the European Commission level will work. If we look at the United States, the agency that I'm most familiar with that conducts laboratory experiments to inform its policies is the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. In fact, some of the research has been done in this lab at Gettysburg College. So when we see the studies of behavioral insights in the power sector or other network industries, how do we know that they are high quality? And there we should look at few aspects. So one, economics experiments have to use incentives. In fact, people walking away from the experiments, they are paid cash depending on the decisions they made and the money that they made in these virtual economies. So the incentives are real. We want the selection of the participant pool to be random, right? That it's not biased in any way. We want the trials, the treatments to be randomized as well. So when you enroll participants, they should not be used in some kind of systematic way. And we also want transparency of the studies that are being conducted. Because if you have studies that sometimes produce the results that you did not expect, or they are not favorable in support of your positions, whether a utility company or other agent that is interested in the sector, then we lose the integrity of the science, we lose the insights, and it creates these problems that public choice prism highlights, the regulatory capture, where the industry that is more informed ends up providing only the evidence that is favorable to their arguments, and then we end up pursuing the policies, decisions that are not fully understood in a comprehensive way. So what's the normal path if we want to use experimental methodology to inform policy. We gather theoretic insights, then we conduct laboratory experiments to get evidence, gather data, study the behavioral regularities. Once we refine our hypotheses, then we may go into the field and conduct field experiments in a controlled way. And then after learning lessons from there, we can pick the alternatives and pick the policies that we want to implement at large. So Swisscom did exactly that. They realized that they have a problem at hand. They are not collecting the bills on time. They looked what could be the theoretical implications, what could be the causes that give this unfavorable result. Then, after reviewing potential remedies, they conducted experiments in the lab in Zurich, learned lessons from there, then moved to the field where they enlisted thousands of their participants to test some of the prescriptions to remedy the problem. And then after seeing the reactions and the results, they changed the approach they deal with customers, and that was a success story that saved them millions of dollars and increased customer satisfaction. What were some of the lessons they learned? Turns out that the timing of presenting the bill or various messages about the potential sticks to those customers matters. It appears that the way information is communicated matters, whether it's via email, smartphone, text messaging, or mail in paper form. It can make a big difference to the response rate. It matters the tone, the layout of the information, how it appears to the participants. And so the country that is one of the wealthiest countries in the world, turns out, needs to pay attention to all these behavioral heuristics in order to collect the money from its customers. So this is just one of examples that ended up saving a lot of money for the company, increasing the customer satisfaction. And it's important to learn from those lessons to the power sector, industry, and that's what we try to do at our early seminar. When we meet in person, we try to provide some of the hands-on experience about some of the research that is being conducted in the labs, in the field. So you get first-hand experience with it and can understand how that works. We are looking forward to have you in person and do it again. But for now, I send you best wishes from Gettysburg Lab for Experimental Economics and look forward to interact with you soon.